And so invest in yourself, invest in masterminds, invest in events, invest in the people that you surround yourself with, in mentors, any of that stuff. I would even say, before you go out and invest in speculative nature investments like stocks or cryptos or real estate or anything of that nature. I did this in this order for a reason. You need to save. You need to save with the intent of investing. And when you do invest, you need to invest in yourself first. Hey, what's going on, cash flow hackers? It's Chris with Life 180. And for this video, we're gonna be talking about the 5 things that you need to do with your money starting now. Now, this is, I think, gonna be one of the more concise, right to the point, step by step. Get your mind, get your head, get your money right, get your actions right. And this is gonna help you accomplish your financial goals on a more predictable basis, putting you in control of the results of getting to where you wanna go. And so let's just get started. So number 1 is you need to be really clear. You need to build 100% clarity on what your goals and objectives are. Stephen Covey, I use this all the time. You gotta start with the end in mind so you can reverse engineer a process to get there. If you don't have the end destination with 100% clarity, so I heard my buddy Caleb use this example the other day. Alice in Wonderland, where she's walking down and she comes across the Cheshire Cat and he goes, well, where are you going? She goes, well, I don't know. And he goes, well, if you don't know, any road will get you there, right? And so if you don't know where you wanna go, if you don't know what plan you're living, you're gonna live somebody else's plan, and that's just the way it is. And so knowing what you need, knowing where you're going, knowing what you're trying to accomplish in life, everybody's different. My objectives are different than yours versus, the other 1,000 people that are watching this video. Everybody's got a different objective and has a little bit of a different nuanced component to their life that they wanna live. So the question that I have for you is, are you 100% clear on what role money plays on helping you accomplish what you want to accomplish in life? My guess is the answer is no. And if that's the case, that's the first place to start. All right, so the second thing that you need to do with your money is pay yourself first. Every dollar that you ever make, 10 to 20% of that dollar should be getting paid to you first. You need to invest in yourself, you need to invest in your future, and the bottom line is, by paying yourself first, you're putting yourself in control. It's not hard. Most people, as they start to make more income and earn more income, they feel like, hey, I can earn myself out of this situation. As much as I disagree with Dave Ramsey and a lot of the things that he does, this is one thing he talks about that is absolutely true, that most people struggle with, is the more they make, the more they spend, because they don't have a good relationship with money. They don't have, like I said in number 1, they don't have the clarity on the role that money needs to play in their life to get to where they want to go. And so you just kind of whimsically go through life with no plan. You live other people's plans, you get into too much debt, you do all these different things. And before you know it, you're looking back and you're in debt and you're spending so much money to service that debt, and you have so many problems that there's so much financial efficiency, and it makes it so hard to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And so by paying yourself first, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position where you can eliminate all those problems. And you're putting yourself in a situation where, you know what, you are reducing your standard of living from the perspective of, as you get those increases, you say, listen, I get it. I'm not gonna go out and buy that nice new car unless I know I can afford to pay myself first. Think about it this way. Like, you know that money is the most important tool. Maybe you don't know this, but you need to know this. Whether it's accomplishing your goals financially, whether it's your marriage, because most marriages end in divorce because of money problems, whether it's any of this stuff, it's your relationship with your money, it's your actions around money, it's how you handle it on a dollar in, dollar out basis. It's that relationship that leads to all the negative results in life. And I promise you, if you do nothing differently, it doesn't matter what rate of return you're chasing, it doesn't matter how much risk or anything you're trying to accomplish. If you do nothing differently except for pay yourself first and just commit to that, not worried about your bills, not worried about making the car payment, not worried about all this other stuff, but pay yourself first. Before you go out to dinner, before you go, on a vacation, before you, upgrade anything in life, go buy a new flat screen TV, pay yourself first. If you do that alone, it will change your life. So that leads me to number 3, and that is, You need to save before you invest, but you need to save with the intention of investing. So when I'm talking about paying yourself first, what I'm talking about is saving money, obviously, right? I think you got that point. So when I'm talking about saving before you invest, what I'm talking about is this idea of, I guess the problem is most people have been conditioned and programmed to believe that the younger you are, the more risk you can take. But the reality is we know that the market is cyclical. It's not linear. It goes up and it comes down. We know that there's going to be times in our life, 4 to 5 times at least, where we have these really big corrections. What I don't understand, and one of the passion points that I really try to educate people to, is that if we know that these 4 or 5 times, the times like the dot-com bubble, the Great Recession in 2008 and 9, the beginning of COVID, those times, those are just 3 times to speak to an example in the last 22 years, right? If we know that those times are going to happen 4 or 5 times and there's going to be tons of opportunity there, it's not about what you do in the 10 years between them. It's what you do in those moments. Those are when the most millionaires are made. Those are when people are able to catapult their wealth forward. How you structure your life financially in advance and in preparation for those moments is what's going to lead to your success or failure from a long-term perspective. And so when I say save, but save with the intent of investing, by saving first, it puts you in a position where you can become a good investor, where you can actually have good investor behavior habits. And that is the most important component of a financial plan. All right, so the fourth thing is you need to invest in yourself. If you're looking at what to do with your money, you are the best investment that you're ever going to make. There's not an investment in the world that's going to be able to get a better rate of return, that's going to be able to create more wealth. Your knowledge, your skills, your network, whatever you're doing, nothing in the world is going to be able to outperform the rate of return that you're going to be able to get on your actions and knowledge. And so invest in yourself, invest in masterminds, invest in events, invest in the people that you surround yourself with, in mentors, any of that stuff. I would even say before you go out and invest in speculative nature investments like stocks or cryptos or real estate or anything of that nature. I did this in this order for a reason. You need to save. You need to save with the intent of investing. And when you do invest, you need to invest in yourself first. Build your knowledge, build your skills, build your community. And by doing so, you're going to not just increase your potential to go out and find opportunities where other people won't find those opportunities, but when you do, you're gonna build a higher floor, right? Because one of the greatest challenges, people for a decade will do really well oftentimes, and then boom, because they don't have their life structured, they don't have the right community, they've been a lone wolf, they've done it on their own, or maybe they put 100% faith in somebody else without investing in themselves, then the time happens and the market crashes, and then they got to start over. If that happens once in a 40-year accumulation phase, which is what our careers are, you're screwed, quite frankly. You're up the creek without a paddle. You're not going to get to where you want to go very easily. By doing this, by investing in yourself first, what you're doing is you're building a higher floor. And I'm a big believer, what's the upside? What's the downside? Can I live with the downside? The downside of investing in yourself, of investing in events, in investing in your knowledge, in investing in the right coaches and mentors is like almost, the downside is insignificant. It's inconsequential. You can only grow from it. The only variable to your success is you when you do it this way. And in my opinion, that's the way it should be. And then finally, fifth thing that you should do for your money, and I kind of alluded to this a couple points ago, is that you need to take advantage of market cycles. All these different things that come into play. We know these market cycles are going to come to the forefront. We know that they're going to present opportunities to us. But the thing is, you need to be prepared for them. Are you going to be the person that looks for the opportunity? Warren Buffett always says you need to make money when there's blood in the streets. The blood in the streets are the times where most people are operating from a place of fear, from a time where you look around and everybody's got that Chicken Little syndrome where the sky is falling and things are always going to get worse. And when things are good, people think things will never be bad. And when things are bad, people think things will never be good. And the bottom line is you have to get beyond the noise, beyond the minutia, and realize where is the opportunity, right? Like, where is the opportunity? And if you are prepared for it, if you are what I call an opportunistic investor profile, and you're positioned to be an opportunistic investor, you're able to see the playing field from a completely different lens because you're not having to operate from a place of fear or scarcity. You're able to operate from a place of thriving and abundance and opportunity and looking at the field opportunistically, because you're coming from a place of power and control. And the reality is 95% of the people in this world are operating from a place of scarcity and not having their lives structured properly. So when times get tough, people need to make bad behavior decisions, bad emotional decisions on surviving. And when those 95% of Americans and people in the world are just trying to survive, that increases the opportunity for the 5% that are prepared. And so there's better value, there's better deals. And when you save and you prepare for that to become an opportunistic investor, you take advantage of those market cycles. As the market drops, you get to buy low. Simple way to get rich: buy low, sell high, right? And so you get to buy low when the opportunity is the best and ride the markets up, sell when they're higher, and then repeat that process. And if you do that, I don't care if it's with real estate, which is my personal favorite, or crypto, or businesses. I know people that buy and flip businesses in times of challenge and have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't matter what it is, the principle doesn't change. It's the concept, it's how you build your foundation, how do you operate with money, how are you leveraging those 5 things with money to get to where you want to go. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, that way you're notified every time I launch a new video. Till next time, have a blessed, inspirational day. We'll talk soon. See ya.